Wonderful. Call is recording. So now we're going to be discussing service delivery, and I'm going to kick it off with, I don't even want to call it the new offer. It's just a new offer that you guys are familiar with, right? It's not a new offer. It's a very old offer. It works wonderfully, right? So we're just going to touch on that just so you guys can understand the premise on what to say, right? Or how to position it, or however you want to put it. So can you guys see here?
Yes.
Wonderful. So there is two factors here. Let's say three factors. So the three factors that we're looking at is that there is a setup fee, there is a monthly retainer, right? And there is a no minimum term, right? Now, the one issue here, right? The caveat is, and it sounds as though I'm blaming the people, it's because I am, right? The caveat is, does not work with lazy, oh, there's no need for caps, lazy clients, and at the same time, does not work with busy clients. So if your clients are too busy or too lazy, this will not work for them. Right now, in both cases, you can get around that. This over here would be a mindset talk with the clients, and mindset talk with the clients. This over here would just say offer to provide caller, right? That's pretty much how you get around those two. Now, a setup fee, then we highlight the fact that it's a monthly retainer and there's no minimum term. Now, nice and simple. A genius in this program had said to Zach and I, he had said, I figured it out. Now I'm paraphrasing, and the individual is going to know who he is. I figured it out. You've changed it to a monthly retainer so that you can make more money, right? And the honest answer is yes. It has been changed to a monthly retainer so that we make more money. Now, one thing that for some reason the person forgot to put into calculations is the more money we make is indicative of the more money you guys making. So we would want to structure it in a way where it's easy for you guys to scale, easy for you guys to deliver, and easy for you guys to get paid on repeat. Now, the bad news is the more money you make, the more money we make because we're evil. But the good news is you're a good person, so you'll make more money. Right? So that's the whole premise of this. Now, let me break this down over here so you guys can get it. I'm so sure I've done this before, but let's just do it again. All right. Now, okay, cool. There we go. So over here, we have the wonderful 800, whatever currency you're doing, retainer, right? Over here, we have $250 per appointment. Oh, no, let's bring it down to 120, right? Let's just make my life easier. Let's do 100. 100. Now, in both cases, right, the leads that end up being 100, yeah, will be in the same group as if you were charging 800. But now what you have to do on the pay-per appointment model or pay-per booking model is you have to book in 8 people, right? Now, to get the 800, you have to book in 8 people. One thing you guys have to consider is how much more work are you doing to book in 8 more people? Right? How much more time is being taken out to book 8 more people? Because you need happy clients. Or how much of the money that you're making is being put into hiring someone to manage those 8 people. Now, my question to you, whether it is you guys or whether it is a VA from the Philippines, who is going to book in more appointments? Your clients or you or a VA? Right? The answer is your clients will book in more. They just have to do the work, right? Now, there's multiple things that we will be doing to make it as easy as possible and as pain-free for your clients to do that. Zach's going to be covering this over here. But our goal is, and honestly, you guys are so retarded. Not all of you, but the ones who thought this was a bad idea, right? So 8 appointments there, monthly retainer. Now, let's imagine you get a second client. You're going to have to book in 16 appointments, whereas the other person has got a monthly retainer on ads. Then let's double it down. You've got 4 clients. Each month, you need to make sure that you're producing this at a minimum, right? And over here, that person's just doing the ads, lead gen, transfer. Right now, obviously, the transfer has to be done in the correct way. We're going to be going over what that's going to look like. Another thing that you guys need to understand is when they pay per appointment, they're going to say, this one's not very good. Yeah, I didn't really like this one. This one I spoke to, but like they hung up on me. I don't like them. This one speaks Spanish. No, it's hilarious. The amount of clients that won't work with Spanish speaking people is hilarious because they don't speak any other language because the bulk of you are targeting America. So those don't count. And then these 3 over here, there's issues over there, right? But now on the basis that it's pay per lead, no, so monthly retainer, 800, they're going to say, can you send me more, please? Can you send me more? Can you send me more? Right? And from the list of 200, they can easily garner enough business to make it back up. On top of that, the offer for text campaigns, building up an email list, email sequences, so on and so forth that they can do just to keep their pipeline full, right? As an example, let's say Mehmet. Mehmet, you're in the med spa niche. Did you know that med spas offer discounts on treatments when they're less busy or when the special occasions like Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Like it's Valentine's Day around the corner, get your titties done. We now offer
Yeah.
discount prices for you and your man. All right. And then what's going to be really powerful is when they have an email list that they can retarget. Right. Zach's mentioned to a bunch of you multiple times on data reactivation. So we can utilize all of that from one list. Right. And we can do a lot, and Zach's going to be covering that. All automated. Or you can keep fucking calling. Right? That's why we're going with this method. And this is very under the, what's it called? It's not a large amount. They're not going to bitch. They're not going to complain. Right? Your clients are going to be relatively happy with what they pay. And the money here, now Zach wanted to go over this. I don't want to go over this with you guys. I want to do it one-to-one as you guys get clients. Right? The big money here is in the add-on services. Right? Because when you get a happy client, you can charge them whatever the fuck you want. Right? The amount of times I got solid clients that are making solid money, right? And I'll just make up shit to take money out of their bank account, right? Now, obviously, more often than not, I provide results, right? But there have been times when I've found out that clients made really good money. And I'm like, sounds like my money. And then I figured out some arbitrary thing that will make them more money, but they will trust me to do what I will do because of the results I brought them in the past. This whole model is grow with your business. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate it, but the way this works is as they increase their ad spend, you increase your fees, right? So as all is going well, they want to put more money into ads. You just slightly keep increasing, right? That's the main focus on here. So now setup fees, you can go all the way. This is niche dependent, right? 1K all the way up to 10,000. Right? The bulk of you will not be able to close at 10,000. Yeah, I'll be very honest with you. And most likely you need add-ons for that. So let me just do this. We'll call this 5,000. Like honestly, you guys can comfortably close at 5,000. Like MedSpa comfortable. Like the bulk of these niches, they have enough money to pay 5,000, right? And then the monthly retainer, 800, no minimum spend. What you are pushing and promoting is, to an extent, is you're going against the laziness that is, we will bring you deals, right? It's very much saying, look, I'm not perfect. I don't know your niche inside out. If I was that amazing, I'd be a fucking roofer myself, right? And I know for a fact you speaking to these prospects is much better than myself speaking to these prospects. And that's why we have this system. Yes, it's more work, but you want to hit more targets. Do you really think you're going to hit the targets without doing more work, so on and so forth? And you handle that objection logically, right? Whenever some spastic comes to you saying, if I don't want to do work, then you give them a bollocking about Hakuna Matata and how life works, right? Because no one got successful or big by not doing work, right? Now, what you want to tell them is nice and simple, right? This is, so let's make a square. Yeah. This is our clients, right? More specifically, this is our client's office, right? So let's say borderline all niches, right? Whether it's a gym, whether it's a medical spa, whether it's a roofing company, there is a certain remit that they will not go past, right? Or they won't target, so on and so forth. As an example, we all know Mehmet isn't going to take a 45-minute to go journey to go to the gym because it's just inconvenience, right, Mehmet?
No, I'll go to the gym. It's like 25-minute walk.
Yeah, but then past that, it's like if it was a 40-minute drive, would you go?
Oh no.
Yeah, like I just said you want it because it'd be fun, but like no one would travel 45 minutes to go to the fucking gym, right? So what we're going to be explaining to the clients is this is the location, right? Inside that location, right? Everyone there, we are going to be hyper targeting to get you their name, email, phone number, zip code. Now, obviously, some niches you may require additional information, right? That will be niche by niche. Yeah. Fundamentally, if a business has everyone and all their contact information, are you telling me that they can't grow, that they can't get more numbers, that they can't scale their business? And that's the whole premise of what we're doing. We're going to give you everyone who's weak, who's strong, any race, any budget, because who they are today may not be someone who's ready to work with you, but who they are in the future will likely be. We're going to send you people who are fit now and fit in 3 months. Do you agree that there may be someone who is considering Botox and they're a few months away? Yes. Do you want them to have money? Sorry, do you want them to become customers? They'll say yes, right? And then based on that, that's what you're selling. It's money today and money tomorrow. I want everyone in your facility who has a fucking roof, I want you to have their contact information, and I want them to know that you are a roofer. Whether they go with you or they go with somebody else, I want you to have their contact information to have the opportunity to speak with them. Does that make sense? Cool. Now, thus far, we've got a few questions. Let's just address them. Alvaro.
You said the lazy people and the busy people, this doesn't work for them. But we can leverage the agencies for managing their pipeline.
Yes, but we don't really want to do that, right? You see, it's typically the asshole. It's typically an asshole who has two traits. I don't really want to do any of this extra work, and I don't want to pay anything up front. Yes, that will be a commonality that you will see. Those that are broke also don't want to do the extra work to get the results. Right? As an example, a bunch of you have dabbled in the real estate space, right? So many of you have spoken to brokies. We recently reviewed a call with someone who's doing lots of transactions and has a team, and he had said quite nicely, oh, everyone's a good lead. They just might not be ready now. They might be ready in 2 years, and you just need to have the systems in place, which is very correct. Right? When it comes to the brokies who are lazy, it's negative rapport galore. That you are the reason why you are a failure because you don't want to do extra fucking work. Right? And then when it comes to busy people, and they say, look, I don't have enough time, so on and so forth, just say, we can connect you with agencies. We have multiple agencies, all at different price points. I'd be happy to schedule it in for interviews for you to speak with them, and they'll be able to handle the leads on your behalf, reviews them with other clients. Make sense?
You do that once you have made all the negative report.
No, that would depend on who you're speaking to. So if it's someone who's genuinely too busy, more often than not, an intellectual bias, no negative rapport, you can offer that.
Okay. But
right?
if they are lazy fucks, then
Make them
Just
feel like
mindset.
no, it's a
Okay.
mindset thing where they need to agree with you. Yeah, I'll do the work, and you can
Mhm.
hit them with a. If I can ask you honestly, do you believe if you had tried harder this past year, you would have got better results? And then you can hit them straight afterwards. So why didn't you? What was stopping you? And you go down that path, and then it's, are you ready to change? How bad do you really want it? Make sense?
Yeah, man.
Denise,
Yes, in HVAC, are there any other questions to ask except the name, phone, zip code, and email?
No.
Okay, and when you mentioned the price, like increase, it's just like some sort of upsell, or you just increase the price if they increase the ad spend?
well, you're just going to pretend like it's more work for you.
But it's not.
It is, but not that much. Exactly.
Okay, and
Double ad spend? No.
okay, and last, I don't know if you mentioned it with the radius. It's like a mile, or it's like a city, or
Did you just say, is it a mile or is it a city?
yeah, is it like some sort of a mile radius, or it's just like a city?
No,
Or
it's a city radius. So we do the radius based on 3 cities.
okay.
I'm being sarcastic. It is a mile radius. So either miles or kilometers. You cannot measure
Oh.
something through cities. Or
Okay,
cities.
and yeah, sorry, and how many miles?
It depends on your client. Some clients are willing to travel to shit. You can ask them. You can genuinely ask them, what are you comfortable with? Give me pinpoint locations. You just do a drop around, and then the ads target based on whatever metrics you provide.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Got it,
Your
thank
only
you.
issue is when they don't travel very far. Like
Hmm.
there are prospects and clients who do not want to travel far, which causes an issue because you can only bring the ads in so close.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
JT.
Great. You said you charge more retainer if they spend more ad spend.
Yeah.
So 1,000 for 800. Like if they do 2,000 a month ads, what would the retainer be? Or
I would increase it to like 1K, 1.2, not much.
okay, so if they do 2,000, just increase the retainer to 1K instead of 800.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just say, look, there's a little bit of additional. Don't make it crazy. Don't try to double your prices. Just do a little bit more.
Got it.
Sam?
Yeah, how much do you take from us per client per month?
How much
For
what?
I mean, do we have to pay you every month for like out of our client retainer?
I believe you have to speak to Zach regarding that.
Sam, you were part of my program. Everybody that was in my program, you're grandfathered in.
Thank you.
You're grandfathered into the new offer. Congratulations. We're very proud of you.
You lucky fuckers.
Yeah. Grandfathered into the new offer. Wonderful. Ruben.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned the $800 retainer,
Yeah.
but not having to kind of get them a certain amount of the paper appointment kind of thing. So like what kind of guarantee do you give them?
No
Does that
guarantee.
make sense?
No guarantee.
You don't give them a guarantee at all.
No. And when they ask why, we've never needed to.
Okay.
Ruben,
Yeah.
I know this has been an issue with my people that were coming from my program. What's the purpose of a guarantee? Can anybody tell me? It's to make the sale easier. It's to make the sale easier. That's the only reason why you have a guarantee. When you're pitching this model, it's easier to have something called an anti-guarantee, which is no guarantee. And the reason why we don't have a guarantee is because we're so good, we don't need one, which therefore makes the sale easier. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It is not commonplace to do guarantees. It will also make you a bitch. Because then you're going to hop on circle. But it's guaranteed. It's all guaranteed if it doesn't work. Yeah, make it sound like a bitch. Right? I've paid stupid money to whether it's agencies or people, contractors, knowledge, whatever it is. And I'll ask them as a joke, do you have a guarantee? And they'll look at me and say no, because they don't do guarantees. Right? The higher up you go, people don't guarantee shit. million investments, people don't guarantee. Yeah, you can put your money like millions with a wealth manager. They're not going to guarantee it. Right? So why the fuck are you offering guarantees for what, 5K? It makes you look.
Sorry, but about guarantees, do you know Charlie's Morgan program? Because he has a guarantee, all money back and $5,000 as
I
a
know,
apology.
I know his guarantee. His guarantee is based on you doing so much outreach every day through all methods, yes, where it is borderline humanly impossible. You have to track all of the metrics. You have to stay consistent. And then you, like, I believe 3 people have been legible for the guarantee refund. 3.
Zero.
Zero?
Yeah, because you have to do I think it's 5,000 outreaches starting from day 1 total. And people come into the program and they watch the first videos for the day instead of doing outreaches, and then the guarantee is void.
Yeah,
I'm just asking because you said that guarantee is not necessary and Charlie has it, so no.
It's just to sell a program.
If okay, as an example, if I told you you don't need to take multivitamins to stay healthy, and then you tell me, but another person's doing it. What's your point? Right? Like, some people do things, some people don't. It is highly not recommended to use a guarantee because you will be you will lean on it and it will make you a bitch. You come across as a lot more confident. We don't offer guarantees. Why? Because we've never needed to. Because we're great at what we do. What's my guarantee? Me. Done. Stay confident. Hold a good frame. Do not justify your existence with a guarantee. Yeah.
Okay.
And if guarantees worked so well, all of you would have so many clients. Who here has gotten to the end of a sales call and told the person that it's guaranteed and they didn't purchase? Yeah. But how the fuck does that work? It's guaranteed. They've got nothing to lose. So why didn't they sign up? Yeah. Simeon.
So all this stuff you told us about the offer that we're running is when are we supposed to display that to the potential client? Is it during the presentation or just in objection handling or?
I would focus it on the presentation and negotiation.
Okay.
Like it is, there are so many sellable points that you can use about this offer. It's just about reframing.
Okay,
Right?
so as we're explaining the system, we can explain, we're going to send you as many contacts as possible and get you as many contacts.
Yes.
And then also deal with it in objection handling and negotiation.
Because their lifeline is lead lists. How many leads do they have? So we're going to give them as many leads in their vicinity as possible. Right?
Yeah.
Paul Baker may not be interested this week, but now you have Paul Baker's number. And for all you know, mid-December, you send out a text campaign. Paul Baker hits you up. He wants business. Right. Mehmet, I want to answer your questions unless your camera's on. Alvera.
Should we tell them any methods for them to qualify the leads or they figure it out?
Zach.
Or if they ask, how would you say?
Who's going to be able to sell their services better? Them or you?
Them.
Who's going to know what their clients' pain points are? Them or you?
Them.
Okay. Who's going to know what kind of customer they want to work with better? Them or you?
Them.
So why are you telling them what to do on that side of things? They know better, right? Now, at some point in the future, you'll come across a client who's absolutely crushing it. With his 100 leads per month, he's closing 50 of them. With all of your other clients, 100 leads per month, they're closing 10 to 20 of them. You can get on the phone with that client who's closing 50 out of 100 steal his systems or pay him for his systems, whatever it is. Some people just give them to you. Some people want to charge you for them, whatever. Collect those systems and then sell them to all of the other clients or include it with your services. It doesn't matter, but that's further down the line. For now, you don't know shit about your client's niche compared to your client. Let your client do what your client's going to do. That's part of your pitch, right? That's part of this new offer. Nobody knows your business like you. Nobody knows the kind of people you want to work with like you. Make sense?
Yeah, that's what you answer if they kind of say something along these lines, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Look, tell them.
Yeah, got it.
Tell them. I do not have the fanciest company. We don't do all the bells and sparkles and whistles that everyone else offers. We don't throw crazy guarantees because we know they're not realistic. What we're going to do is nice and simple. When someone is remotely interested, we're going to send them your way. Some of these people, you can only use them for texts. Some of these people are going to tell you to go fuck yourself. But a lot of these people will become paying customers, and that's why it works. Because by the end of it all, you're with us for 2-3 years, you will have everyone's data in your database. And that's what we're selling. Classic
It works.
generation. It works. Yeah. Dennis.
Yeah, when it goes to the new offer, those strongest points are that we will be able to make huge list of the potential clients and also like bombard them with leads. Are there any other angles that you can utilize?
Yes, and they will be able to close the business that you bring them.
I'm not sure if I understand.
They will make money from the leads instantaneously. They just have to contact them.
Okay. And is there any other angle, or you should like try to go around those three?
So you'll be able to contact a bunch of these leads and sell to them. You'll be able to have text automations in place to sell to them in the future when you have discounts or offers or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Next example, you're in HVAC, right?
Yes.
So when do people need air conditioning?
Like the clients of HVAC, like usually in summer. Yeah.
Wonderful. So summer comes round, they've got an entire database to work with and contact.
Oh, okay.
Same with email, right? They can slap them on a newsletter, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. Nice, simple, stupid. We are not fancy. We are simple human beings with a very simple business model, and that's why it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Jenber.
How would you handle objection on a cold call when the prospect says, if you are working with quite a few HVAC companies in Brampton, what you will provide me, because the offer is to hyper target everyone in your area, but if I'm doing it for the other companies, so how can I handle that? Because the prospect told me the exact same thing.
No. Say perfectly fine, but understand you will receive those that respond to your ads. Now, if they respond to your ads and they respond to your competitors' ads, there's not much that we can do. But do you want to be in a position where your competitors are running ads and taking the potential business that you can get? Whether it's working with us or whether we're working with other people, your competitors are running ads and getting leads. So what do you need to do? The good thing is we're very good at our job.
Okay.
Now tell them if they want to pay you a premium price, you're happy to exclude and not work with anybody else. That premium price is 8,000 a month. Does that mean that you don't work with you make up for 10 competitors in that vicinity?
Okay.
Yeah. Look, guys, you have to understand when it comes to business, and it's a lot more comfortable with it's a lot more recognizable by those who are very familiar at business, right? The second someone speaks to me and they tell me about all 900 businesses they're running and how all of the shit that they do is happening, right? All that tells me is they're not doing anything in their fucking lives. When they try to paint a pretty picture, so on, so blah, 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 right? It's bullshit. Yeah, so don't try to sell a dream. You guys are not here to change anyone's life. You're here to add to people's businesses. It's that simple. You're not here to be the only thing that brings money into a business, right? Because that would imply that the business owners don't know how to generate business. If someone tells you their targets for the end of the year, do not say you will hit all their targets. You will help them make a dent in their targets, because that sounds a lot more fucking realistic. Jonathan Lee.
So I've just started cold calling and I've been running into a lot of gatekeepers. A lot of them say to me that, oh, like they can't forward me to the owner unless I tell them what the context is about. And they say like, oh, I have to forward every call, I have to screen every call with the owner and stuff. So how would you handle that objection?
I would hang up and speak to the next person.
So I shouldn't pursue and then just move on.
Yeah.
And what would you do? Because today I've gotten like today and yesterday I've gotten a lot of the assistants pretending to be so I should just hang up straight away as soon as I like
my Wi-Fi cut out. My answer is yes. Hang up straight away.
Yeah, all good.
Zach, was that the correct answer?
I prefer to stay on and fight with the gatekeepers.
Yeah,
but
because today I got one of them actually gave me the owner's personal number.
Yeah,
that was the only one, but
it's
look, there's no perfect SOP for getting through gatekeepers. Like you'll never SOP it, you'll never have a script for getting through gatekeepers. You're dealing with different personalities. You're not dealing with somebody who's going to react the same way to the same script every single time, right? It's more of a personality based thing. The only way for you to get better at dealing with gatekeepers is speak to more of them and use your intuition. I know that's not like the best thing that you want to hear, but that's the only way to go about it. You just said that you were getting famoosed by gatekeepers and now you're starting to catch on to it. The reason why you're catching on to it is because you're taking more reps and you're learning that, like, you're learning their tactics, basically.
Yeah.
Getting past them is the same way. Yeah. It's just reps. You can hang up and move on to the next person, or you can sit there and try and fight with them a little bit. I prefer to try and fight with them a little bit. Both methods work.
Yep.
Albero.
Yeah, what do we say when the prospect asks us how many people are we gonna work with in the area, or we are working with in the area?
Depending on the size of the area, I would say a number anywhere between 3 to 40.
3 to 40.
Like, pick a number out your ass and stick to it.
Are they asking on the cold call or the sales call?
Sales call.
Sales call?
Yeah.
They're probably asking they either want to know that you've done this for other people in the past, or they're asking because they want exclusivity on the leads. It's important to know why they're asking that. Because if they want exclusivity on the leads, the correct answer would just be all leads are exclusive to you. We don't work with any competitors in a 20-mile radius. And you can still work with competitors in a 20-mile radius, but you want to alleviate their concern.
Yeah, that's good.
myself, I would tell them they can't afford me to be exclusive. I mean, I would do the opposite. I said you can't, you would not be comfortable paying what would need to be paid for it to be exclusive. I would go down
But
that.
you're contradicting yourself because you're saying they're gonna have everybody in the area in their database.
Yep.
But they are not exclusive.
No human is fucking exclusive. Yes. You cannot take a lead and make sure it never goes to anybody else.
Yeah, of course.
It's exclusive working with you.
Yeah. You don't share the leads.
Yeah, but just because I'm not working with your competitors doesn't mean that they aren't running ads or other people aren't working with them. Now, what do you want? Do you want to do it yourself and not collect many, or work with someone who's collecting the most?
Yeah, that's good. Can you check my call calls? There are 3, but it's 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and the other one is 3 minutes.
We're gonna have to do it at the end because we're recording this for service delivery. Yeah.
Okay.
Geeson.
What would you say about asking a question to pre-qualify people on the cold call at the beginning? The niche is tree care. Like basically, I'm asking people, how available are you at the moment? Are you fully booked? Is that a useful question to ask? Or?
You need to focus on understanding if they can handle or are looking to get more business. That is a great example of, or that niche is a great example of you want them in your database. You want anyone with a tree who gives a fuck about tree care, right? To be in their contact books, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it for random trees in the road or is it for people's trees at home?
Mainly for residential, so people's trees at home, like garden and stuff like that.
Isn't that the type of list that you want to grow exponentially?
Yeah, probably.
That's what you're selling. All right, because Sandra may not want her trees cut this weekend, but for all you know, in 3 months, her tree's not looking good, and Pablo or Juan isn't available. Recently got deported, and as such, she's looking for a new tree provider.
Okay.
Yeah. Alonso.
Yeah, today I have been applying the homosexual flight attendant tone, and I booked 1 meeting in Texas. Good, but I think I'm exaggerating a bit the tone. So, do you think it's like exaggerating or like very low? Can you do it so I can see? No, can you review it? Can you review mine?
We can do it at the end. All right, so
Okay.
Zach's just going to go over his service delivery side, but honestly, ask Zach in the end. He has a great input, like what's it called? Impression. What the fuck? What am I looking for?
Impersonation.
Yeah. So Zach, being from Florida, is very familiar with the LGBT community, and as such, he's really good at making the voices that they make.
Okay, at the end.
Yeah, sorry, Zach, we can't hear you. Amir.
Yeah, Alonso, don't ask me.
Amir, yeah.
Basically, when I call like the owners of remodeling businesses, they will like most of them will tell me they are fully booked out for 3 months. And even though this might be true for some of them, is there like any way I can turn this around and still get them on a sales call?
The only argument you can have is something along the lines of, well, after 3 months, you're going to need more business, but then you're easily going to be hit back with, well, I clearly know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I told them like, is it like seasonal business? And they said, yeah, in the winter months, it's a little bit less, but still enough for them. So it's basically no way I can turn this around. I should just hang up and.
If it's a little bit less, would they not want to be at 100% when it comes to winter? But that's the only angle you can go down.
Okay, good argument.
Yeah. Ruben, by the way, I apologize. I'd come to the conclusion that I'd confused a few things. It wasn't Black History Month this month. It's actually Mehmet's month. It's a drag queen month. So I apologize for saying it was Black History Month, which is on February. I apologize.
Bro, what the fuck is this drag queen shit, bro?
Yeah.
Look, yeah, based on like what Amir said as well, could you kind of like I've got plenty of people that told me, oh yeah, we're maxed out for the next few weeks, months. How can I tell them, yeah, to just hire another client, like hire another contractor or like electrician or whatever? Like, I don't get it sometimes. Like, what's really stopping them from hiring another person just to expand?
You can. The only thing is they're not likely to discuss that with a cold caller who just randomly called them offering them new business. Get a sales call, yeah, you can start talking about that. But until then, not really. But guys, we're focusing on service delivery. Zach, are you gonna share your screen after Mehmet's question?
Wait, I got a second question.
Ruben, yeah.
Look, yeah. So basically, I just got an email like 5 minutes ago, and it's with a guy I hopped on a sales call with, and he asked me, what did he say? He said that is there like a trial period for the service, maybe even like a test campaign that we can run for 2 to 5 days. What should I reply to that?
Zach, I hope you heard that because I didn't.
Should I repeat?
You just tell them you don't do free trials. We don't work for free. We don't need to do that. And 2 to 5 days on a campaign isn't going to yield any results anyway. There's a testing period. So while it's possible that once we launch, you get some leads in the first 2 to 5 days, we're not going to just run a campaign for 2 to 5 days.
Yeah, you can also say to him, look, I'll be honest with you. The first 5 clients we took on, we offered them a free trial, but that was back in 2019. And since then, we stopped offering free trials and we do charge upfront. Which is another way of saying, go fuck yourself. We know what we're doing. Because you have to get them to understand that you don't do free trials because you don't need to, because you get results. And that's why you need to be pushing. Okay, now, Mehmet, Sam, are your questions based on service delivery?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So when we're running this new offer, are we doing lead forms or are we doing landing pages, funnels?
Wonderful. Zachary, do you want to kick it off?
Yes. Quick answer to your question, Mehmet. Google Ads is a landing page. Facebook, because you're optimizing for volume, is just a form.
All right.
Now, this is going to be a very simple walkthrough of the service delivery. I'm not going to go in depth on this because it's not needed. But it is important that you guys have a general understanding of what service delivery looks like. So once you sign a client, you're going to begin onboarding. And a signed client is not somebody who signs a contract and will pay you later. It's somebody who signed the contract and also paid you. You have money in the bank or money in Stripe, whatever payment processor you're using. Once you have people, or once you're going through this onboarding process, there we are. There are 3 things that you're doing for onboarding. Onboarding is not a big thing where you hop on a call or create an onboarding funnel. You're doing literally 3 things. You are creating the ad account or getting access to their ad account. You're creating a domain or getting access to their domain. If you're running Facebook ads, you don't need domain access because you're just going to be running lead forms, which is all done on Facebook's platform. And then you're getting their business info. Business info will vary from niche to niche, but it consists of 2 things. One is like legal business information, because you're going to need it when you're setting up privacy policies and things like this on behalf of the client if you're running a funnel. You also might need to set up A2P in the future, and you'll need some legal business info for that. The other side of this business information are unique selling points of the client. You're going to be doing marketing for, let's use a car detailer as an example. Does he do paint protection film? Does he do tinting? Or does he do painting the cars? Does he do engine modifications? Does he clean the cars? Right? You have to understand what the business is doing, what their unique selling points are, how many reviews do they have, past client testimonials, social proof, things like this. Yeah. Biz info is basically collecting everything that you need asset wise to start running campaigns and making sure that you are selling the clients with the advertising, with the funnels, things like this. Yeah, just put your hands up if you have questions. We'll circle back around. If your memory sucks, write it down. Now, initial setup comes after onboarding. So once you've collected this information, you have to actually set up the back end of all this. And what that looks like is setting up the go high level. With the new offer, this exponentially easier as far as go high level setup goes. So basically all you're doing is setting up a few automations, and I'll work with you guys on doing this when you start signing clients. You're setting up some automations to connect the lead and the client. That's it. We're not doing any nurturing of the leads inside of this unless you're running the old offer, which you shouldn't be. But if you are, that's a different story. New offer, you're just merely setting up some automations to connect lead client. That's it. You want them to call each other. You don't really care how that happens. We're just setting up multiple automations. We'll get creative, do different things for that, but it's all a very basic level. You're also going to be setting up A2P if that's necessary. For most of you guys, we're going to do toll-free numbers because, first of all, you don't need to worry about A2P. The numbers are never going to get banned or suspended, and A2P can be a big headache. So we'll most likely do toll-free. But anyway, keeping this high level, you'll get the go high level set up. After the go high level set up, you'll get the campaign set up. So Google, Facebook, you're basically getting the advertising campaign set up here. Nothing too deep. Once you sign a client, we'll go into the details. Funnel creation if needed. So if you're running Facebook, as we mentioned before, you're just going to be running a lead form. If you are running Google, we're going to need a funnel. And this is when we leverage a lot of that business information that we got from the client during the onboarding. And onboarding is it can be done through an email if your client's tech savvy. Just give them instructions on what to do, or you can send them a Loom video, or you can just send them a form with some instructions, or you can hop on a 15-minute call and help them get set up. This will depend on niche. It'll depend on client, but this is something that we'll work with you guys on to develop. But anyway, funnel creation, if needed, basically means if you're running Google ads, we're going to create some funnels. I can go very deep on funnels. I won't right now because I want to keep this high level. So next step of the initial setup is integrating the CRM. So what I mean by this is you might have a real estate client who uses Follow Up Boss, for example. Lots of real estate agencies Follow Up Boss. All you'll do to integrate the CRM is set up a Zap, or you can use like make.com or Pabbly, which are cheaper alternatives to Zapier, which can become very expensive very quickly. And you're going to set up one automation to where a new lead comes in to go high level. And I'll work with you guys on this. You don't have to learn how to do it. A new lead comes in to go high level. It also appears in their CRM. All right. Some clients will have a CRM, some won't. But that's what that step means right there. Now, after we've got everything set up, we need to test it. This is the testing is literally nothing more than sending a test lead. So you create a lead, you toss it into go high level, and then you make sure that your client got that lead. All the automations are firing on that side of things. And then on the flip side, you also want to make sure that the lead, so like you can test with your own phone number, you're the lead, make sure that the lead is getting text messages that are targeted to connect them to the client. So an example of that could be, hey, thanks for your interest in car detailing, Tampa, Florida. Give us a call at this number. We're happy to answer all of your questions. Something basic as that, right? All that's designed to do is to get the lead to contact the company if they haven't already. That's it. Now, after you test everything, surprise, surprise, we launch it. And this is literally as simple as turning the ads on, right? That's it. Just turn the ads on because you've already got everything built out. The initial setup, so the go high level workflow should be published. Everything's looking good there. You've tested it out. Everything's working. You literally just turn the ads on, and that's it. Next step is testing and improving. This is where a lot of people fuck up. They are, especially with their first few clients, are extremely emotional. They'll create a campaign, and then after 2 days, if the campaign's generated less than 20 leads, they freak out and they tear the campaign down or they start editing it. And that's probably the worst thing that you can do. You don't have enough data. Facebook won't have enough data. Google won't have enough data. You have to let it run for at least a week. So part of testing and improving is weekly audits on the campaigns. And what I like to do, I did this with both of my agencies. Saturday morning is when I updated all the campaigns until I started to hire it out. I would wake up early. Lights were off. It was still dark outside. I would just zone out, put on some classical music. That was my thing, and just do campaigns for hours on end. But it became like a ritual for me, and I didn't fuck with campaigns outside of that Saturday morning. Yeah. If you guys want to do it in the middle of the day on Wednesday, it doesn't matter. There's not an ideal day to do it. The point is you have to wait a week between launching and updating, and then a week between updates, minimum. And then next step of testing and improving is updates if needed. So you'll be updating different things. It might be deleting ad sets or ad groups. It might be changing the landing pages. It might be changing the forms. There will be different bottlenecks in different areas that I'll help you guys identify, but no more than once a week. Yeah. Now, the next big part, this is probably the biggest part, is client management. There are a number of things that fall into client management, and I'm sure Ishmael's going to want to add on to this a little bit. But the 4 big ones, perhaps the biggest one first, I put it last, but this is the number one reason why you want to speak to your clients, is problem identification. So a lot of people are scared to talk to clients because they're scared that their clients are going to have complaints or issues, or all of a sudden after they speak to a client, they think that their client's going to tell them, oh yeah, by the way, I want to cancel the service. Like, I promise you, they're paying the ads. They're getting notifications every time the ads charge their card, and they're paying your retainer. You speaking to them is not going to remind them that they're shelling out 1 to 10K every single month. So you have to speak to the clients, because when you do that, you're going to hear little things in those conversations, something about lead quality, something about lead quantity, something about the leads aren't coming in properly, or they would like to receive the leads in a different way, right? Maybe they want to use Slack or OpenPhone or email or text as opposed to something else that you've set up. Maybe they just got a CRM and they would like the leads to go in there, and they won't mention that to you. But if you get on a call and have a conversation with them, that could be brought up, right? These little micro problems are just that if you handle them in real time. They're micro problems. But if you fuck around and you never speak to your clients, 6 months later, they can just send you an email and say, hey, I want to drop it. And they want to drop because 3 months ago, you didn't integrate with their CRM, and it's not your fault because they never told you, but it kind of is your fault because you never had the conversation and gave them the opportunity. You guys get the point. Yeah. Problem identification is a really big thing. It's also, I could also add mindset under problem identification, because mindset's a problem. You will inevitably have clients that aren't willing to work leads. And all you have to do is get on the phone with them, talk to them about how important it is to follow up with leads. Tell them, look, if one lead told you to fuck off, it doesn't mean the other 99 of them are going to tell you the same thing. You've got some money in there, you have to work it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's literally just you encouraging them to work leads. And I know this sounds very basic, but that is a really big thing. People need extra encouragement, just like you guys do. I mean, I'm sure if I asked for a set of hands, more than half, if not this entire call, hands would go up when you hopped on a call with me or Ishmael or one of the other coaches in this program, and you thought you had some issue in the business. We just gave you some mindset talk, and then you booked in 4 calls the next day and closed somebody, right? Next part of client management is basically making you more money. And this comes in the form of upsells. I'm not going to go too deep on upsells. I'm not going to go into upsells at all, actually, because I don't want you guys focusing on this yet. But upsells are it's database reactivation. It is a website, creating a website. It is email marketing. It could be SMS marketing. Like there are a million ways to bring in more money to your clients. And the best way to do that is in the form of upsells, because that's also going to bring in you money to your business, right? And once you work with a client for 2, 3, 6 months and you get them good results, you can hop on the phone with them and say, hey, HVAC niche, it is the middle of August. We've got 2,000 people in your database. What we like to do is we like to send text messages to that entire database. It costs $5,000 to do this, but we're going to estimate that you're going to book in 60 appointments from this or 200 appointments from this. If you've been getting them good results, they won't even ask they won't object to everything. They're just going to say, yes, let's do it. Here's the 5K. Yeah. Million other ways to upsell. We'll get into that as you guys have more clients. 2 more reasons: referrals and testimonials. These are pretty self-explanatory. Not going to talk too much about these, but basically when you're speaking to your clients, you'll have conversations. You'll understand that things are going well. You just throw it out there. Hey, by the way, we're working on building our own marketing material. If you don't mind, could you leave us a 1 to 2 minute testimonial? Just your honest story about start to finish or start to where you're at now, how we've helped you, what your experience has been so far. And they'll say, sure. Yeah. And you can offer to send them a framework or even a script, but don't send that to them without, like it has to be something that they ask for as far as scripts go, because you don't want to script testimonials unless you have to, unless they ask for it. Another one is referrals. So same thing, right? Hey, things have been going well. Ask the client, hey, by the way, who do you know? Don't ask them, do you know anybody? Or do you happen to know anybody who wants this? All right. I would straight up ask them, who do you know who can benefit from this? Who can benefit from marketing? Great way to get referrals. And that is service delivery in a very small nutshell. Mehmet.
Yeah, so with the onboarding process, do you want us to have an onboarding call, or have like different forms or like a video in place where they can fill out information and stuff like that and then just go from there, or have an onboarding call like I've done before?
So let me simplify this for everybody. What you guys are going to do, it's going to be a 15 to 30 minute call where you get access to their ad accounts or help them get those set up, get access to their domain if you need a domain for Google Ads, or just set up a domain off the call. Don't worry about it, on the call, and collect their business info. And what you'll do in those 15 to 30 minute calls, after you get through 10 to 20 of them, you'll basically find yourself doing the same thing in the same order and hitting the same obstacles. Oh, my Facebook account's banned. I've got this problem. I got that problem. How do I do this? How do I do that? At that time, you'll have enough data to be able to develop an onboarding funnel, and then you can add in the videos later.
So for the time being, just have like a call. Until you know.
Time being, make the call, put in the reps. It's what you need.
All right.
Alvaro.
So I have some. The testimonials are for the ads or for the for the landing pages?
What testimonials are you talking about?
Testimonials from clients of our clients.
Okay. Under business info, when you're getting this?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be for the landing page.
For their landing page.
Yeah, for Google Ads. If you're running Facebook ads, you don't need it, but still collect the info. If they have it, still collect it. Because you might switch in the future, or you might upsell them like, hey, we've been running Facebook ads. Let's add in Google Ads. So collect the info.
Okay. Yeah.
Blackman.
Yeah, what do you think about...
I have some more.
Go for it, Alvaro.
Yeah, so which is the way we put in contact with the clients, the prospects? Just we connect the CRM.
Yeah. So what we'll do as a baseline is we'll send an email with new lead information. That'll be for 100% of your clients. We're going to send people an email. Yeah. Because if they're sick of getting those, they can filter them out. Then you'll ask your client if they also want to receive a text. If so, who should we send that text to? And then just ask them. We can also put this into Slack. So if you're like a solar company and you've got a big sales team, Slack might be the better option. Or you can use open, like I can go on and on with how we get them over, but as a baseline, it's email plus preference.
Okay, and the email is each lead we send them is going
Subject line, new lead, email body, name, email, phone, zip code. Done.
okay. And can you check my ads really quickly?
No.
Can you check it later?
Yes.
Okay.
Sam.
Yeah, I've got a few questions as well. Do you think we could try and chuck the referral out there? Say we get on, say we have a prospect complete on the sales call once they've paid. Could we chuck it out there that, okay, this is great. Like, do you know anyone else that you think could benefit from this and you'd like to go through the process with together? Would that work?
Well,
yeah.
As soon as you sign them.
As soon as you sign them.
I wouldn't do that.
I don't think it hurts.
I don't think, yeah, I was nothing gained, nothing lost. But
I would say
I'll try it out.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, and I know you didn't want to touch too much on upsells, but kind of when would you hit them? Because I've been on a few sales calls and they've said other stuff like websites and database reactivations. So can we do that from the outset, or do we kind of want to start off slowly, show that we get results, and then kind of hit them with the upsells?
For now, Sam, just stick with advertising, because part of the offer is like, I had a Q&A call earlier. I spoke to a number of you guys. I don't remember who it was. Side note, you should be more memorable. He asked, I was on the sales call earlier and somebody was saying, oh, I don't think I'm going to go with you. I think I'm going to go with somebody else because they also offer SEO and a website and all these other things. I told him, handle the objection like this. Sure, there are a lot of agencies that have to throw in a lot of extra bloat into their offer because they don't specialize in anything. We don't need to do that because we specialize in Facebook or Google ads, right? Whichever one you've pitched them. And the reason why we specialize in, or the reason why we don't need to add anything else in, is because we get the results that our clients need with just this service. We don't get general average results and have to throw in all these other bloated offers to get business. We do what works. This works. This is all that we need. In the future, if you want to add something on, we can do that, but it's not necessary.
Does
that make sense?
One thing to add when it comes to referrals, a big thing is based on the relationship that you have with the clients, right? So the better the relationship you have with the clients, the more it's nice and easy. How's everything looking? Anything you're working on right now? Okay, that's cool. Anything I can help with, right?
Yeah.
But that heavily depends on the relationship that you have with your clients.
So do you kind of want to form a relationship like you're almost the coach and kind of part of the team and that kind of thing?
I would make it more personal, like once, like it's outside of business, right? Yeah, we get results. You get results. Hakuna Matata. Like now, Zach's philosophy is different to mine on this, where I enjoy weekly calls, right? Because that's where the whole upsell, and if things go bad, you can buy time. Like that's why I like it, right? But then it's keeping it casual, and you don't want them to like. I started doing this the day I was referred to as the IT guy. So a client referred to me as they called me their IT guy. Right. And I was like, hold the fuck up. I'm no one's IT guy. Right. And then that's when I started pushing that a lot more. And it made a massive difference.
Okay, gotcha. I forgot my other question. Move on now.
JT.
Okay. So Ishmael says like we create hundreds of ads or 100 ad a month during the offer. Do we actually do that, or?
So it depends if you need them, man. So I've had campaigns where because you create 24 at a time, right? It's 4 by 6, four ad sets, or 4 ad sets and then 6 ads. You can have to create 400. I'm rounding up, but 400 in a month if the ad sets continue to flop each week. Right? Because you're having to create a new 24 every single week when you go in and update it. I've also had campaigns where I've had a between $3 and $7 cost per lead across all ad sets the first week. And in that case, I've only run 24 ads and I'm not fucking touching it. And then you've got everything in the middle.
You're gonna be hyper testing until you get the cost per lead that you want. That's dependent on the click-through rate, and that's dependent on the form fill-out rate. The form fill-out rate, now this is Facebook side, isn't provided to you. It is a metric that you have to calculate yourself. Now, some of you are going to ask me how to calculate it. Feel free to ask me if you have a client. If you don't, I'm not going to answer.
Okay. And you already had these ads created, or you create like 25 ads for a client every week, or
All your ads are created.
They're created.
oh, okay.
Sam, have you remembered?
Yeah, so it might be the same with a lot of the other guys who they're targeting, but I've spoken to people in MedSpa and their CRM is genuinely just a notebook. So do we kind of want to offer them to bring them onto the Go High level and use that as their CRM?
I fucking hated bringing people onto the GHL with the old offer. I had nothing but headaches with both of my agencies. It was miserable. With this new offer, it's appropriate to offer it to them. I would charge them for it. It's appropriate to offer it to them, but I wouldn't get everything set up and get the automation set up for them. I would basically give it to them and give them access to it, give them limited access to it, set up a very basic pipeline, and just tell them to call people. And that's it. Like how you have your cold calling. Did you set up your cold calling pipeline with the video that I created?
Yeah, I actually changed it up a little bit. Like,
But
just
it's still
to
as
optimize
basic
it
as
for me,
mine?
yeah. No,
Still pretty basic?
I've
Yeah.
added in a bunch of different stuff.
Okay.
Because some people say call back, for example, so I just added in a callback to call them back, but that's really just to then put it into not interested because I call them back and they're not interested. So
Perfect. And you didn't ask me about doing that. You just went out and did it on your own. That's what you want your clients to do. If you're going to offer them Go High Level, give them a very basic framework on how to use it. Here's how to call. Here's the pipelines. If you guys want to fuck around with it, you can fuck around with it. And put them on to, like, give them their own pipeline, not your pipeline where the leads are coming into.
gotcha. And in
Yeah.
regard to the ads, I presume when you're targeting a certain area that necessarily doesn't have a massive population, that there'll be some kind of offer erosion or campaign erosion. When can we expect this to take place? Over what kind of time frame? Is it very dependent on the area and the population?
Way too many factors go into it. Typically what happens is if it's a very sparse area and it's not densely populated, you can spread the ads out a little bit further and vice versa. So like somewhere in Central Florida, you might use a 20-mile radius, but in New York City, you're using like a 3-mile radius.
And we gauge that from how many leads we're getting, and when we see a drop off, we switch it up. Is that kind of the general framework?
No, so you're basically hitting the max radius that that works, and you do it based off of client feedback, which is another important reason to have weekly calls. If your client says like, hey man, 70% of these leads live an hour away, you've got to bring the ads in a little bit, right? So you basically want to expand, or you want to do a pretty broad radius, and then if no issues arise, spread it out even more and keep spreading until it becomes an issue, and then bring it back in and leave it for life.
Gotcha.
Dennis.
When it goes to the HVAC niche, do you think they also use some sort of a CRM, something like that?
Guys, don't put a CRM into the offer. Don't pitch it. Don't offer it. If they ask for it, you could say we can get you on ours. It costs X per month. What do you think, Ishmael? 300 per month?
I got completely distracted by an ad I just saw.
People are asking about providing clients with a CRM, which is basically go high level access.
It
With the
depends
new
how-
offer,
I'm not
it
against
kind of makes sense.
it does, but it doesn't. So there's two issues. The first issue is if the client's never done this before, there was a mention of a notepad. What are the chances they're going to swap everything over onto here? Right. And then the other issue is if they already have a CRM and they have to start using two CRMs. Those would be the only two issues.
It's only if they're using a notepad and they specifically ask, do you guys have some kind of CRM for us to use?
Yeah, then that's fine. Then that's fine. Do you
Okay,
want
yeah. Cost 100 to 300 a month?
Yeah. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
Do
There you go.
you want to see the ad that I saw? That distracted me.
Yes. Yeah. Is that a vagina?
So laser vaginal tightening. That is a thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Can I just side note something cool that it's not that cool. So I was Googling massages because my back hurt. So I wanted to go for a massage. Then I got hit with ads for massages. So I'm just like responding to them so that I can schedule a nice massage. Then I bumped into this one. And straight away they hit me with their offers on their massage. Granted, these are Instagram ads. So I have the option of for 400 dirhams, relaxing in Swedish. For 500 dirhams, a deep tissue. Now there are extras that I can select. If I want a body-to-body massage, it's 1,000 dirhams. All nude, can touch and kiss everywhere, plus massage is 1,500 dirhams. And full service possible, 2,000 dirhams. The prostitutes are now running ads. It is an inspiration to all of us.
Well, just go to a brothel. You might as well go to a brothel.
Is that what you
do?
New niche.
Mehmet, is that what you do?
No.
Interesting. So why recommend the brothel?
You might as well at that point be cheaper.
Oh, how much do they charge at the brothel?
Well, you could probably get a brothel for that, what, £40 an hour or something. I don't know.
Are you sure you don't know?
I would not touch a brothel that is £40 an hour. But
Bro, you could go fucking South London, £40 an hour.
are they? Do you have the address?
I can find one for you. Don't worry. I'll set you up when you come back London.
Mehmet, taps £40 an hour.
Huh?
Anyways, back on track. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. Can you review my homosexual tone for the code?
Put it in the chat.
Right now, live. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wait. We can do it live. Zach, are you happy for me to pause the recording for the service delivery?
Yeah, I'm done if there are no other questions.